Hello boys, how are we? Today I wanted to talk about alcohol. It's something that I've spoken about quite a lot on my channel, to be honest, just because it's something that's, comes up quite a lot. It's a major part of sort of self-development and self-care and everything like that, and it's a very controversial topic that a lot of people have very, very different views on. I think a lot of the time with alcohol, many people are sort of one way or the other. They sort of either barely drink or they drink a lot every week, and I think that is one of the problems with it, and I think that's one of the reasons that it does cause so much controversy, because sort of you get people who have never touched a drop of alcohol in their life who are very unhealthy and very unfit, and you'll get certain high level sports people who drink like fishes but they're in incredible shape. So as anything, alcohol is, whether it's good for you or not, is very much dependent on how you use it and how often you use it. The reason this came up for me today is I went out and had a few drinks last night. It was my last day with the company that I'm working at. So yeah, we just arranged some drinks after work, and yeah, I woke up this morning. I didn't feel amazing. I haven't had one of those sort of hangovers where I'm never drinking again. It's not one of them. I've actually today, which that hasn't really happened before, to be honest. I've actually just felt really sick all day, and it's not a hangover, because I actually started to feel it last night as well. But it's happened a few times, the last few times that I've been out drinking, and I think I don't know if like I say, I'm getting older, I'm only 26, but like I've seriously noticed over the last sort of 2-3 years my tolerance of alcohol has absolutely gone through the floor. And to be honest, I personally don't actually mind waking up with a hangover every now and then if I've gone out and had a good night with my friends. But last night I probably only had three or four pints, and it's sort of after 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and I still feel really, really sick. And naturally that sort of made me think about how much I drink. Is it sort of becoming worth it anymore? And I've got in my main friendship circle, quite a lot of my friends near on don't drink anymore. They don't really enjoy it, or they're sort of, one of my closest friends is sort of really into his fitness. A couple of my mates have never really drunk, or haven't really drunk that much at all for sort of the best part of 10 years. One of my mates is married with a couple of children, so he doesn't really drink that much either. And I have to admit, I've always thought they're mad. I do really enjoy going out for a drink, going out for a few pints and everything like that. But every now and then I do have days like today where, again, it's not sort of I'm hungover, never drinking again kind of day. It's almost like it's not worth it, basically, just in terms of, like I say, if you can write off a day every now and then if you're hungover, that's what, when you get older, that's what happens. If you go out and have a big sesh, the next day is just a write off. And that's fine if you're doing it for someone's wedding or a birthday or a big night out. But these days, sort of, like I said, I just went to the pub and had sort of 3 or 4 drinks, and I've just felt absolutely terrible all day. And you go, is that worth it then? Is that actually something that I want to do? And on the hangover side of things, I think it might have been Stephen Bartlett. Obviously I talk about him quite a lot. Guy who does Diary of a CEO. I think he does drink, but I think he said he doesn't drink much. And one of the things he said was he realised when he was about 18, if he wanted to compete at the level that he wants to, if he wants to make it to the top, he can't drink, because he can't compete at that level if he's having to take days and weeks out, because you lose so much time from being drunk and being hungover. And it is true. That is the thing that I don't like, is when I feel like I've had to waste a day. Sort of, I've worked from home today, luckily, because I don't know how I'd ever felt if I'd had to go into the office. But like, I wasn't particularly productive and didn't really get much done, and you just go, that's not really how you want to live. And like, when it comes to giving up alcohol entirely, I think it completely depends on how you use it. I know some people who drink moderately every now and then and they're fine. I know some very lucky people who just don't get hangovers. I think it's genetic. I watched something on that years ago. I think it's genetic, but some people what they might not feel great the next day, but no matter what they drink, no matter how drunk they are, they don't get hangovers. And if you're someone like that and you still feel healthy, then I'd say, then if what you're doing is working. I'd always say with alcohol, if you can't give it up, if you couldn't give it up for a month to 6 weeks, if you actually couldn't bring yourself to do that, I would say that's maybe a sign that you've got a bit of a problem and maybe need to give it a go. Like I think I mentioned this on my channel when it got to that time last year, but when it comes to sort of the end of December, I'm almost absolutely craving dry January, because with Christmas and everything like that, I just spend 2 months, 6 weeks or whatever just going out so much that by the end of by the time it gets to New Year's Eve, I'm sort of very ready to stop. And that's actually, it's not normally days like today where I think about not drinking. It's not normally days where I feel rough. It's actually the opposite. It's when I've actually, for whatever reason, gone maybe a couple of weeks without drinking and I start to feel a lot better. That's where I sort of think, oh, actually, I might keep this up. I'm quite enjoying this. Look, I don't want to go too much in circles, because it's not a question that I can answer for you. I can sort of only give you things to think about. And look, as I said, I really, I don't know if you can tell by my complexion, I do feel really rough today, really under the weather. So I haven't got loads of energy to sit here and talk to you guys for ages and ages, unfortunately. But yeah, if it's something that you're sort of on the fence about, my advice would be, unless you go back to uni or whatever like I do, there's nothing really to drink for in September. Try giving up alcohol for September, or try majorly cutting back. That's sort of what I'd say is even if it's maybe change your drinks over. I think I don't remember the last time I sort of went to the pub for a while. So if I drink at home, I'll normally drink sort of diet lemonade with vodka or something like that, right? Whereas if I'm in the pub, it's just pint after pint after pint, and that's very different in calories, that's very different in consistency, and maybe that's what's made me feel so sick. So I might think about now, when I do go back to uni, if I'm not going to stop drinking, but I might go, okay, well, I'll just stick to something else rather than the beers. Look, I'll leave it there because I need to try and get some food in me, because I haven't been able to hold anything down today. But yeah, thank you for making it all the way to the end. I know it was really a short one today, but I always post something. But yeah, I didn't want to not post at all, but just not feeling great, unfortunately. I'm always honest with you guys about that. But look, if you did find any of it useful, if you did find any of my content interesting, please do consider liking and subscribing. As always, comment any other advice you have below, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care, lads.